Okay, Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Southern California and the newly named Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Indianapolis Colts and the Los Angeles Chargers. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
The Colts take over first down 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Let's go, everyone. Number 53, Mike 53.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Tremaine Edmonds, the Bills' leading tackler as a rookie last year, in on the stop there.
Second and 8 at the 21-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Prescott. Throwing deep for Galladay. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Melvin Gordon, the 2-time Pro Bowler. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Jackson from the shotgun. Being chased out left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. This Week 1 matchup between the Colts and the Chargers, there are a couple of ties between the two franchises. Of course, Colts head coach Frank Reich, he spent 2 seasons as the Chargers offensive coordinator in 2014 and 15. Then he would have 2 years as the Eagles OC before coming to Indianapolis. But also, Colts fans, they do not have good memories of the 2007 and 2008 seasons, both times losing to the Chargers in the playoffs when they felt like they had a team that could have gone to the Super Bowl. Steps away to his left. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now on 2nd and 16. Prescott. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Mike, number 50.
first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Going deep now for Herndon. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game. It's not too often you see a holder putting that football down right on the midfield stripe. 60 yards, Charles, but a little bit too much to bite off there.
Yeah, it's good to show confidence in your kicker. That might have been just a little bit too much. I'll guarantee you, as you just noted, putting it down on the midfield stripe, the holder's thinking to himself, that's a long way. Probably not as confident as well. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And that's complete. It's Allington. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be...
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position, the ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it, and even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. From the shotgun again to Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. Prescott to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up fourth down. To punt on fourth down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Jabril Peppers deep to receive. No score after one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on fourth down to punt this thing. Here comes Peppers. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from up in Seattle. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. He'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And Arlington has it, middle of the field. And out across midfield, down to the 45. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Play action. It's Jackson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
Hey, one set. Trump. 54. Mike 54. Ready? Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Right there. 54, right there, 54.
Throwing on second and long. Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Here we go, 46. Check nine. 26.
They start on the ground with Elliott. Elliott a first down and more as he's all the way up to the 24-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Prescott down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League.
First down, Colts.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one good for 26 and a first down. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Trying to lay one up deep, and he fires one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. On first and 10, it's Jackson. Sets up the screen to Gordon. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Throwing is Jackson. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Eddie Goldman picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. It finds Randall Cobb with a completion. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the second time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. Football 101, you've got to let the guy catch the ball.
You have to know the ball is there. You have to know it's arrived. Otherwise, you're going to get flagged every time.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
I'm on.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. The Charger drive about to get going. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight. Maybe not this tight. Scoreless as we start the 3rd quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
Now Gordon on first down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.